Tonight, a mother's new push.
There's so much I've learned through this.
For more answers about her son's death.
This was life-saving time that they wasted.
Taking a quest for closure in a new direction. The heat will be on.
As of Sunday, there will likely be extreme heat events.
The early word on a scorching series of days expected.
I'm excited that the hot weather is finally here.
To kick off summer. The road to 1 million people.
And the question we started asking is, are we ready?
Waterloo Region business leaders on what's needed most now.
You're not going to create 100,000 jobs just in small business.
To be ready for 2050. Good evening. We begin with new developments in the case of an Arthur man who died while in OPP custody last summer. The province's police watchdog cleared officers of wrongdoing, but now Nathaniel Schofield's mother is filing a formal complaint, claiming that there's more to the story. Let's go to CTV's Hannah Schmidt, who's been following this story today for us. Hannah, you spoke with Schofield's mother today, and this is just days after she says she filed a complaint with the Law Enforcement Complaints Agency.
Tony Faye Dzikowicz told me she went to the agency with her concerns after she says she watched video of her son's last moments while in police custody. She filed a complaint last week claiming officers who were monitoring him at the time were, quote, neglectful and discreditable in their duties.
I'm still a mess over everything and trying to make sense of all the unfairness, all the deception.
A grieving Faye Dzikowicz is still searching for answers nearly 1 year after the death of her son.
I want his children to be looked after. I want justice for my son.
Nathaniel Schofield died while in OPP custody in Rockwood last July. The 36-year-old was arrested in connection to an alleged domestic violence incident. According to a report released by the SIU this past March, Schofield became very ill overnight at the detachment. And by 10:24 the following morning, he had no vital signs. The report says Schofield overdosed on fentanyl and meth, with cocaine also in his system. Faye disagrees.
He had nothing on him upon arrest, like no drugs. So we said this right from the beginning. An overdose made no sense.
2 doses of Narcan were administered according to the report, but a defibrillator was not used. The SIU ruled officers acted within policy, but Faye argues that was not the case.
It wasn't until the third call that the dispatcher came right out and asked the OPP, is he breathing? Is he conscious? And that's when they said no. Have you done CPR? Clearly, and they didn't.
Now Faye has filed a formal complaint with the Law Enforcement Complaint Agency after she watched video of her son's last moments with SIU investigators.
They were reporting he was having seizures, and they put him on his side and treated him as such. And I'm watching the video going, what seizures? The mandatory training that they are taught was never practiced. This could have saved Nathaniel's life.
Some of those allegations she made in her complaint include insufficient monitoring while in police custody, mishandling of a health emergency, delay in medical care, and the poor communication with family and the court.
This was life-saving time that they wasted. Like, minutes matter in a crisis like this.
CTV News reached out to the agency for confirmation of the complaint. They did not respond as of airtime. Faye says it's not just about accountability, it's about getting to the bottom of what happened and to finally get some peace.
There's so much I've learned through this, and maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing.
Unlike the SIU, which only investigates possible criminal conduct involving police, the Law Enforcement Complaints Agency looks at broader issues like police policies, misconduct, neglect of duty, and can conduct systemic reviews. It can also recommend disciplinary measures like reprimands, suspensions, or the dismissal of an officer. Tony.
Okay, CTV's Hannah Schmidt with the latest on that story. Hannah, thank you for that. A spike in the number of human trafficking cases has the Guelph area in focus tonight. The city is at the center of a new awareness campaign after Guelph police reported that human trafficking calls were up by 50% over the last 2 years. Now there's a new effort to tackle that problem. CTV Spencer Turcotte reports.
I was 24 years old when I was trafficked.
At first, Caitlin Bick had no idea she was being trafficked.
My situation didn't look like the movie Taken or Law & Order or CSI Miami or whatever other Hollywood movie is out there.
In fact, she was trafficked by someone she knew.
I really thought that this person was my boyfriend, and it's not always a romantic relationship.
She eventually escaped the dangerous situation and is alive to share her story. It's part of a new human trafficking awareness campaign focused on the Guelph area.
This crime is not confined to big cities. It's happening here, in our Airbnbs, our homes, and our hotels.
The fact that Guelph is located close to a number of large centers and is right off the 401. So we do know that there's a fairly well-established corridor.
That's why the Guelph Police Service, Crime Stoppers Guelph Wellington, and several other Guelph services are partnering in this new awareness campaign. Earlier this year, Guelph Police noted a 50% increase in human trafficking-related calls over the last 2 years.
The biggest myth, as we lay out in the video, is the fact that it's not happening in the city of Guelph. It does happen in the city of Guelph.
Crime Stoppers Guelph Wellington is now offering $2,000 rewards for tips that lead to human trafficking arrests. This renewed effort, which runs until September 1st, is reminding people that anyone can be a victim of human trafficking and that education can be the greatest shield.
I often say that, like, education is power. I wonder if someone would have come into my school and shared their story, or at least taught us what it really truly looked like. Maybe it wouldn't have happened to me.
Spencer Turcotte, CTV News, Guelph.
All right, time for a first check on the weather. Ashley Bacon outside now on our patio with the very latest. Really got a summer feel in the air out there tonight, Ash.
Absolutely, Tony. I'm telling you what, I definitely don't need this blazer out here. It is still a scorcher. Mother Nature giving us a little taste of summer as we head into our last week of spring. Now, as we take a look at our radar, Tony, you can see that there is relatively clear conditions right now. That is going to change over the next few days. Now, overnight, we are expecting a slight chance for rain, but right now we're still sitting at a very hot, let's call it 28 degrees, but feeling much warmer than that. As you can see, most of southern Ontario in the high 20s and Earl 30s. Sarnia is in 30 degrees still. Now with the humidex, this is the real story, getting closer to 38 in Sarnia, 35 in London and Kitchener, Waterloo, 36 in Hamilton and Windsor. So it is a hot scorcher of a day, and it will continue to be so. Light chance for rain through the evening and into tomorrow, but I will have more details about how much rain we can expect coming up a little later in the show during our full weather forecast. Tony.
Okay, Ashley, thank you very much. And Ashley was mentioning the start of summer later this week. Well, it looks like it's going to get off to a scorching start. Tonight, some early predictions that we're going to be hit with a heat wave starting later this weekend. CTV's Heather Centerin live at Riverside Park tonight with more. Heather, still spring for a few more days, but as we were mentioning, sure doesn't feel like it today.
And people were definitely taking advantage of this hot and sunny day today, Tony. And you know what? People were outdoors, soaking it all up. Environment Canada says next week could be the first heat wave of the year in our area, but it likely won't be the last.
It's a busy day at this Kitchener ice cream shop.
The maple walnut.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The last week of spring getting warmer and warmer.
I'm excited that the hot weather is finally here, especially with the crazy winter.
Not everyone is a big fan of the heat, like her 5-month-old Noelle. But Mom gets her funnel cake.
Thank you.
And Noelle gets her own fan attached to her stroller to get the air flowing.
She's a winter baby, so she doesn't do good with the heat, so I'm sure we'll be staying inside for the next few days.
By the end of this weekend, a heat wave could be gripping Waterloo Region.
As of Sunday, there will likely be an extreme heat event beginning, so for us, that means temperatures in the low 30s.
Environment Canada says those susceptible to heat-related illnesses must take the proper precautions.
Limiting time and strenuous activity outdoors, making sure you're drinking lots of water to stay hydrated, having a cool place during the day, so you can allow your body to regulate temperatures.
The temperatures in the spring were up and down.
And then we'll go hot for a day, and then back to cold, and then hot, then cold. And Mother Nature couldn't make up her mind.
But experts say this summer is looking like it will be hotter than normal.
But when we say above seasonal temperatures, that doesn't necessarily mean that every day is going to be hot or that it's going to be record-breaking temperatures. What it means is that we look at our 30-year climatology records, and when we average those 3 months as a whole, those temperatures will be above that 30-year normal.
Even if you're not a fan of the hot and humid days to come,
nothing I can do about it, so I'll live with it.
One thing is for sure, a cool treat does the trick to cool you off temporarily.
Worth the wait. That was good.
Before we get to those really hot temperatures at the end of the week, heavy rain is expected. So if you have plans outdoors, make sure you keep that in mind. Tony.
Lots to talk about with the weather. Heather Centerin at Riverside Park in Cambridge. Heather, thank you for that. Well, the Ontario Provincial Police say this past Friday the 13th motorcycle rally in Port Dover was a relatively peaceful event. Police estimate about 125,000 bikers and visitors converged on Port Dover at the height of the rally. The OPP say despite that sizable crowd, the event proceeded without any major incidents. Most infractions involved open alcohol, speeding, and distracted driving. Hamilton police have charged an 11-year-old and a 15-year-old in connection with a stolen vehicle investigation. Police say they got calls about a stolen vehicle being driven erratically near Barton Street and Gage Avenue. The two youths were also seen carrying what appeared to be a BB-style handgun. The pair were arrested after police executed a high-risk traffic stop. Both now face several charges. The 11-year-old was released to his parents. The 15-year-old remains in custody, waiting for a court appearance. Well, Premier Doug Ford is once again calling for changes to Canada's bail system. He's highlighting a recent bust as well as an overnight incident in his own driveway. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
I get to have Doug Ford's rant for a little bit.
The Premier sounding off on the justice system, demanding bail reform from the federal government. That's what he revealed while he was asleep early this morning in his Etobicoke home.
4 thugs come racing down my street, masks on, ready to take the car out of the driveway.
Toronto police say their officers were in the area of Lawrence and Royal York around 12:30 and spotted that vehicle slowing down as it approached a driveway. Police say when they stopped the car, one of the people inside bolted. The officers caught up with them. Allegedly inside the car, a programmable master key and a device to do it. 4 people have been charged, including a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old. The 2 men charged have been released for now under house arrest.
We need to start throwing these people in jail. This is turning into a lawless society.
Ford outraged that all but 1 of 9 people charged in a record-breaking drug bust in Peel Region last week have been released on bail.
500 kilos of cocaine that could ultimately kill people, and judges slap on the wrist. Okay, little Johnny, you go out there and deal more drugs.
Former Toronto Police Detective Mark Mendelson says the Premier's tapping into widespread frustration, but even with criminal code changes,
it's still going to have to get through the Supreme Court of Canada at the end of the day, who may deem it to be unconstitutional.
Doug Ford singled out a man in Vaughan who allegedly fired multiple shots as would-be thieves tried to steal his Lamborghini last week. That man faces gun charges, including unauthorized possession of a prohibited or restricted weapon.
I'm going to hold a fundraiser for lawyer fees for him. He should get a medal for standing up. It's like down in the U.S., we should have the castle law.
An approach Mendelson says leads to unnecessary death and injury.
You are allowed to use as much force as you feel is necessary, even though it's not a direct threat to you or your family or anybody that's with you, is a scary proposition.
There's no evidence the suspects in Vaughan were trying to break into a home or hurt anyone while stealing the car.
Defending yourself is entirely based on what's proportional and what's reasonable. In a case like this, it has been determined that a firearm was not the appropriate one. Mendelson
isn't sure the Premier offering financial help to someone who's been criminally charged is a wise political move.
Does he get to pick and choose who he thinks is innocent before there's a trial? I think that's problematic as well.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Despite U.S. President Trump's early departure, the G7 Leaders Summit continued in Alberta today with a focus on defense and security, especially Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say Russian attacks killed at least 15 people and injured 156 others overnight, most of those casualties in the capital of Kyiv. CTV's Mike Le Couture reports.
With a heavy heart, Ukraine's president came to Kananaskis, hoping for more support from G7 leaders. But the latest attack cast a shadow over his visit.
Our families had a very difficult night. It's one of the biggest attacks from the very beginning of this war. 440 Shaheeds, Iranian drones, and 32 missiles.
Inviting Volodymyr Zelensky was part of a show of support from world leaders gathered here as the war with Russia rages on. And Canada has gone one step further, announcing today military aid and sanctions.
We are providing additional military assistance, drones, helicopters, broader munitions, over $2 billion worth of assistance directly to Ukraine.
And there's a $2.3 billion loan to help Ukraine rebuild its infrastructure. Canada is also slapping sanctions on 40 Russian entities, a number of individuals, and over 200 vessels in its shadow fleet. The United Kingdom also announced similar sanctions on 20 ships, including oil tankers. But the immediate need in Ukraine is that military might.
It's important for our soldiers to be strong at the battlefield, to stay strong out until Russia will be ready for the peace negotiations.
The Prime Minister's office confirms the $2 billion in military aid is helping Canada to reach its NATO spending target. And that earned Carney praise from the head of the alliance.
The fact that you decided to bring Canada to the 2% spending when it comes to NATO this year is really fantastic.
More difficult conversations could come for Carney when he meets with his Indian counterpart later today. Canada is trying to rebuild that relationship, while an RCMP investigation has connected the Modi government to homicides and extortions in this country. It's a claim the Indian government has refuted. Mike Le Couture, CTV News, Kananaskis, Alberta.
And you can stay connected with our newsroom each and every morning with the CTV Kitchener newsletter. The best local content from CTV News right to your inbox first thing in the morning, including a look at the day's top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos. We've got it all there in the newsletter, which you can sign up for at ctvnewskitchener.ca. Well, a Renoviction bylaw in Kitchener is a step closer to reality tonight. Coming up, the push to protect tenants through new legislation passes its first political test at City Hall.
Well, hot, humid conditions are going to continue throughout the evening and overnight, but we'll make way for some rainfall. Stay with us. I'll have more details on how much wet weather we can expect over the weekend.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
In Kitchener, the push for a bylaw to crack down on renovictions has cleared its first political test. A committee of city councillors voted last night to go ahead with developing one after another night of passionate pitches by tenant advocates inside and outside City Hall.
Bylaw or bye-bye? That's right. They're going to be gone.
It's like living in your worst nightmare, thinking that that I could lose my home. I can see fear in my neighbors' eyes, and I can hear it in their voices.
I want all of you to ask yourselves if residents of this city having safety in their homes is important to you, and how you're going to figure out how to make that possible.
City councillors voted 6-3 at this planning committee meeting to pursue a renovictions bylaw, even though city staff said it could be complicated, costly, and may not have the teeth it needs to make an immediate impact on the problem of people getting pushed out of rental homes under the guise of renovations before the unit is then rented out at a higher price.
We all have heard from many people who feel the bylaw is the sign of hope that they need.
Let's give it a shot. Let's try it out. Let's see if it works. And we can learn as we go.
This vote was at the committee level, so this decision still has to be ratified by a full city council meeting in the future. The mayor also noted he would like to get some clearer details from staff on what kind of timelines they're looking at as they move toward crafting a bylaw. After one of its chairs was stolen in the middle of the night, the Gaslight District in Cambridge decided to put its own spin on vigilante justice. Here's CTV's Alexandra Hollick now with how the community came together to return the seat and turn in the thieves.
When someone tells you to take a seat, this isn't usually what they mean. But it's exactly what happened in Cambridge earlier this month.
Someone came and stole the chair.
2 people made off with this red top-like spun chair that typically sits out in the open.
A bit of shock that someone wanted to steal one of them. Number 1, they're heavy. Number 2, they're pretty unique.
The unique crime called for a unique approach.
We posted a little SOS out to the community to help us find the missing chair, and we got a great community response.
Pictures of potential suspects and a $100 reward. Within minutes, the Gaslight District received tips, photos, and a link to a listing.
They found the chair on Facebook Marketplace. They had seen the security footage of who it was that stole it and actually located that gentleman in downtown.
But the search for the missing seat didn't stop there.
They put so much pressure on the people that stole it that the people that stole it actually returned it.
How did they know they caught the culprits?
The same people were on the security footage stealing the chair. It was the same people on the security footage bringing the chair back.
The reward wasn't granted, but Gaslight District President Scott Higgins says similar incidents have left staff on the edge of their seats.
We decided to invest in both cameras and in on-site security overnight to try to limit the amount of theft that happens here.
Regional police say they're not investigating the theft at this time, and the Gaslight District says it isn't planning on filing a report. However, Higgins says he's grateful the community stepped up and helped return this cherished item. Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Cambridge.
All right, here is a live look outside in Cambridge. Good night to be out on the diamond, isn't it? It's nice and warm. It's feeling like summer. And in fact, summer starts later this week. Ashley's in just a couple of moments to tell us about a bit of a roller coaster ride with the weather on the way to that first day of summer. Also coming up, more market time, kicking off the summer season early in St. Jacobs. We'll find out what's on tap this year for the seasonal expansion of market hours. And next, Canadians caught up in the renewed hostilities between Israel and Iran. Back in 3 minutes. All right, welcome back. We are getting into a period where we're going to be seeing a lot of changes in the weather, not only in the season, but in kind of what we're going to be seeing with the sky over the next several days. And I should note, we've been getting messages going, where's Alex?
Yes.
She's under the weather today.
She'll be back.
Unfortunately. Really wanted to be here, wanted me to pass that along. But she will be back, and it's just a bit of a wild roller coaster in every way this week.
A bit like the weather, you know, and certainly we are seeing very hot, humid conditions today, Tony, and that is going to transfer over the next few days, that heat and humidity, but it's going to bring along with it some wet stuff. Let's take a look outside, though. You can see, oh, look at a beautiful little softball match happening at the moment. It is a perfect night if you don't mind the heat, but what's going to get you is the humidity. It is certainly feeling a lot warmer than the 28 we were sitting at just a few minutes ago. I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday afternoon. Thank you for joining us here. Now let's take a look at temperatures across the country. You know, starting on the west coast, it's still a very comfortable Vancouver at 19 degrees, 23 in Edmonton, 25 in Regina, up in Thunder Bay, still sitting at 27. Over on the east coast, we're looking at 18 in St. John's, 17 in Halifax, 26 for Montreal. So overall conditions across the country, very spring-like, but much Mother Nature certainly giving us a taste of summer closer to home. We're looking at 27 degrees on this hour still. You know, considering there's still a few more hours of sunlight, that's going to continue to feel warmer. This is the big story, though. Still feeling closer to 33 in Kitchener, Waterloo with the Humidex. So if you're out, make sure you have plenty of water with you. Check on your loved ones who might feel the heat. As we get into our almanac, we can see that normally this time of year, it's about a 24-degree range. So we are sitting above normal, but nowhere near the record, which was formed back in 1994 at 34.5 degrees. So it could be a lot hotter. Now, what's really great is adding that minute of sunshine into our daylight. We're having over 15 hours of sunlight, so it's still plenty of time to get out before the rain hits. Chances of showers overnight, temperatures not dropping that much. It's going to be a warm one, 18 degrees, so definitely want to throw a fan on, maybe open a window, or even potentially use the air conditioning if you have it accessible to you. Tomorrow, similar conditions in regards to the heat. 27 is our expected high, but it's going to see some wet stuff. We're looking at around a 60% chance for rain, and that will continue to develop over into Thursday. We're looking at around 23 millimeters of rain over the next 48 hours. It is going to continue to be a bit wet throughout the region and into northern Ontario. Looking at our 7-day forecast, Tony, starting in Waterloo Region, as mentioned, it's going to be a wet start to your Wednesday and into Thursday. That will continue. Comfortable highs of around 24 degrees on Thursday. On Friday, however, the sun's coming back just in time for your weekend, and slightly cooler temperatures, 24 degrees. Cloudy for Saturday, but next week we're keeping an eye. We might be in store for the first heat wave of the year. In Lambton, Kent, Essex, similar conditions, chance for showers and possibly a thunderstorm for your Wednesday, a high of 29. Those temperatures not really taking a dip at all throughout the weekend into the weekend. 28 for your Friday, Saturday 31 and 33 by Sunday. Finally, in southern Georgian Bay, similar conditions, a wet rest of your work week with a high of just 21 on Thursday, much cooler and more comfortable there. Cloudy for Saturday, and that heat is really the talk of the story, Tony, for Sunday. So keep an eye over the next few days, and we'll see how that continues to develop. But let's take a look at our Weather Watcher photo today. Thank you, Dave, for snapping this picture of a lovely group of lady slippers. It's just stunning, and certainly beautiful. I'm sure they're enjoying the sunshine, but we'll probably need a drink by tomorrow. I would think so.
Now, did Alan, our studio director, tell you those were lady slippers?
No. Alan is a great, book of knowledge when it comes to plant life.
He's like a botany encyclopedia.
But Dave, the person who sent this in, was kind enough to give me a description because I am not exactly a green thumb. Nor am I.
So thank you, Dave, for identifying that for us, because I can appreciate the beauty of some of these photos, but when I have to think back to biology class, it kind of gets foggy.
Zero botany in my knowledge base.
Thanks, Ash. Well, looking at some world news now, no sign of de-escalation on day 5 of the fighting between Israel and Iran. Iran lobbing another wave of missiles at Tel Aviv and the north. Israel hitting deeper into Iran. CTV's Adrian Gobriel now on the Canadians caught in the middle of this crisis.
This missile launch from an unknown location inside Iran claims to show an Islamic Revolutionary Guard warhead slicing through the sky towards Israel. At an Israeli air base, an F-15 Eagle fighter jet takes off, strapped with munitions, destined for targets in Iran. This young child in a bicycle helmet is among those surveying this gaping crater in central Israel north of Tel Aviv from an airstrike Tuesday morning. Canadian-Israeli Raphael Posh is a paramedic who's worked in multiple conflict zones. The father of 2 from Toronto says Iran's counterattack feels far more threatening than what he and his family have grown accustomed to in recent years.
If one of those missiles hit, it takes down a city block, as opposed to if one of the missiles from Hamas would hit, it takes out an apartment, a room, a hole in a building, depending on the size of the rocket. So there's definitely a lot more of a worry, and there's a lot more of a feeling of urgency.
Hamilton, Ontario doctor Panad Baranju took this video following an Israeli airstrike on a building down the street from his family's apartment in Tehran.
It's terrifying, and I was only probably 700 meters away from the blast side.
Baranju is one of the fortunate few to have been allowed to cross into Turkey at a land border. Forced to leave his extended family behind, he took this video of his last moments in Iran as the flash of rockets could still be seen in the sky.
And then I had to sort of leave and say goodbye to them in Tehran, which was very emotional. Especially my mom, because she hugged me and said, "This is the last time I see you." It's possible, but as sad as it is for me to say.
As of today, at least 224 people have been killed in Iran, 24 in Israel, since the fighting began 5 days ago. On his own social media site, President Donald Trump posting that the U.S. knows exactly where Iran's supreme leader is located, calling him an easy target, though vowing not to kill him, saying, quote, "At least not yet." Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
A CTV News investigation uncovers some shocking surprises for car buyers. W5 investigative reporter John Woodward joins us with some stories of people getting stuck with stolen cars and being on the hook for them. Waterloo Region's population is expected to swell to 1 million by 2050. And tonight, a coalition of business leaders is out with a report card on just how ready we are for that growth. CTV's Colton Weens now on what they feel needs the most attention.
What are the building blocks that we need to have in place to be a successful community of 1 million people and a community worth living in?
That's the question addressed in a new biannual scorecard from the Business and Economic Support Team of Waterloo Region, or BEST WR, tracking how ready the community is for 1 million residents in 25 years.
We've identified some issues that need to be addressed. Let's get to work on them.
The report focuses on 5 main areas: housing, transportation, healthcare, jobs, and livability, saying healthcare needs attention right now.
We need a new hospital. That will create energy around getting the healthcare professionals we need, whether it's family doctors, specialists, those sorts of things.
That's not the only familiar plan bolstered in the report. So is the creation of employment lands, like the land assembly project in Wilmot.
You're not going to create 100,000 jobs just in small business. We have to have some anchor employers. So who's the next Toyota or the next Google that's going to have 6, 8, 9,000 jobs and a supply chain that creates, like Toyota does, somewhere in the order of 30,000 jobs in this region?
And the long-debated plan to extend the LRT into Cambridge.
LRT Phase 2 needs to be done. It needs to be completed if we're going to build 70,000 housing units. So a lot of these things are interconnected. We can't create, if we have 1 million people, roughly speaking, it's about 100,000 jobs that need to be created in the next 25 years.
Region of Waterloo Chair Karen Redmond says the scorecard highlights the critical investments to accommodate growth and where the region needs to focus collective efforts. The scorecard also supported by the Future Cities Institute at the University of Waterloo, industry leaders and researchers who are working with the community to inform it.
This is a first of its kind academic business partnership in Canada. We're really excited about it. It's being led by the business community that we have here in the Waterloo region.
BEST WR plans to put out a report card every 6 months, saying it's not about assigning blame to the community, but instead about finding a way to achieve a goal together. Colton Weens, CTV News, Kitchener.
And let's recap our top stories now with CTV's Krista Simpson in studio tonight. Krista, we begin with a mother's search for answers after the death of her son while in police custody.
Well, Tony, Nathaniel Schofield died last summer after suddenly becoming ill in the hours after he was arrested and held at the OPP detachment in Rockwood. Earlier this year, the Special Investigations Unit cleared officers of any wrongdoing. Schofield's mother has now filed a complaint with the Law Enforcement Complaint Agency. She says her son wasn't monitored closely and his health emergency was mishandled. A new campaign aims to increase awareness about human trafficking and that it is happening in and around Guelph. Police in that city say there's been a 50% increase in human trafficking related calls in the past year. They've partnered with a number of agencies on this project, hoping to educate more people on the realities.
Krista, looking at what our digital team is working on over on our website. Our digital team working on a number of stories, including police looking for a porch pirate after a number of thefts on streets in the north end of Waterloo.
Well, Tony, police say there were thefts between May 26th and June 6th on Tealby Crescent, Grant Crescent, and Castlefield Avenue. And police have released photos of a person they are looking for in this investigation. To get a closer look at the photos, scan the QR code on the bottom left of your screen to get the story on our CTV News app, or to download the app right now. You can also, of course, visit our website, ctvnewskitchener.ca. Tony.
All right, Krista Simpson with our top stories. Krista, thank you very much for that. Summer started a little early today at St. Jacob's Farmers Market, which is now open on Tuesdays for the next few months. The market, which normally runs Thursdays and Saturdays year-round, also adds the extra day throughout the summer. And this year, in honor of the market's 50th anniversary, there are some extra family fun activities, including a sticker collecting contest, story time with a storybook character, and craft time. That's in addition to the usual array of fresh food, produce, and merchandise.
Thursdays I work, and so I can't come on Thursdays, and Saturdays can be pretty crazy out here. I've been coming to the market for, 45 years. So it's dear to my heart, and I like buying local produce. I would envision a future where it's open Tuesdays as well as Thursdays and Saturdays, permanently, not just in the summertime.
The summertime Tuesday hours will also include Canada Day, when visitors will also be offered a special treat of live music to celebrate our country's birthday. Well, later on CTV News, a life-changing procedure for a little girl from Stratford. A story about hearing for the first time, something her parents thought was impossible just 2 years ago. Imagine buying a vehicle from a car dealership only to find out much later it's actually a stolen car. We've learned it's happening with some unsuspecting buyers who were eventually left without a car and on the hook for a lot of money in car payments. CTV's W5 investigative reporter John Woodward explains.
Cars stolen off driveways across the country.
There's a huge problem.
More than $1 billion a year, some of them sold overseas.
There you go.
But others end up on Canadian roads, disguised and resold.
Money that's going to organized criminals and car thieves.
Correct.
Some of that money spent on bribes to government agencies.
Are you a car thief, sir? This was a fake on so many levels.
This 2019 Porsche Cayenne was the dream vehicle for a family member of Frank Rizko when they bought it in 2023.
They bought it from a dealership, by the way, so that assumingly it's safer and more legit.
But only a few months later, parked at this mall north of Toronto, the car disappeared. One of almost 60,000 stolen that year as a wave of auto thefts continues to sweep through Canada. Frank's family member made an insurance claim with TD Insurance, but that's where things got strange.
A few weeks go by, no answer. That drags into a couple months, and then finally TD rejects the claim altogether.
In a letter, TD Insurance told them it had found a problem with the vehicle identification number, or VIN, a number that is supposed to uniquely identify the car, saying, "Our investigation has concluded that the VIN is fictitious and registered to another vehicle. Therefore, there will be no coverage for this loss."
What did that mean, fictitious VIN?
Exactly what I thought when I heard that.
You can usually find the VIN here, behind the windshield on the driver's side. It's supposed to be one number, one car. And if it's not, there could be a problem. Those numbers are tracked closely by Carfax and its president, Sean Forden.
Yeah, so Carfax is a Canadian company.
He says they have seen a huge increase in what is known as re-VINning.
A re-VIN is taking the 17-digit character of a vehicle identification number and applying that to, in most cases, a stolen vehicle.
So this is about disguising vehicles that are stolen as legitimate cars.
That's right.
Vording says his company's data shows there are some 140,000 possibly disguised stolen cars on the road right now. We asked Vording to take a look at the Carfax report for Rizko's car.
Something doesn't add up about the history of this vehicle.
Boarding points out its records show the car's color changed from gray to white, and its mileage actually dropped from around 60,000 to just under 30,000.
They would have to drive backwards across the country a number of times to make that make sense.
Yeah, that's right. If there's ever a vehicle that that looks like it's a fraudulent VIN or a clone VIN, this one meets the mark.
The truth is, this report refers to 2 cars sharing the same VIN, one in Ontario, the other in Alberta. We tracked the Alberta car to this Porsche dealership in Calgary. They believe their car is legit. That suggests it was Rizco's car that was the stolen one. Rizco's family couldn't have known all that. At the time of purchase, their Carfax appeared clean.
How does all this make you feel?
Irritated, disappointed. It's going to be $100,000 plus roughly around $40,000 in interest.
Yeah.
My family members have to pay this for the next 6 years. And they're thinking of getting a second mortgage to pay for this. Like, it's just insane.
His family owes all this money for a stolen car that was stolen again. And our investigation showed his car wasn't the only one tied to one Toronto dealership. John Woodward, CTV News.
All right, let's check in with Omar Sachedina now in Kananaskis for a look at what's coming up later tonight.
Tonight, the anger over Canada's controversial invite to the G7.
We hope the leaders of the G7 summit press him and hold him accountable.
The demonstrations and demands for India's Prime Minister. Later on CTV National News, live from Banff.
Warm weather continuing overnight with a low of just 18 degrees. But what will tomorrow morning look like? I'll have a closer look at that when we come back after this. Lots of Tuesday night TV, starting with E-Talk, followed by, you guessed it, The Big Bang Theory and Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. Finish off your night with back-to-back episodes of The Rookie.
Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
Ashley loves when I sing along to that Bounce promo.
It's so good. I wish you guys got a little more taste of it. But...
And trust me, I'll hear from the people who don't like it. So there you go. Krista Simpson's back with a preview of what our team is following for 11:30 tonight. Krista.
Well, Tony, Cambridge is the latest municipality in Waterloo Region that could see changes to its fireworks bylaw. Councillors are discussing whether they want to put in place more limited timeframes when fireworks could be set off, a ban on fireworks sales in the city, and steeper fines for people who break the rules. Kitchener and Waterloo recently made similar changes. We'll be following the meeting and bring you an update at 11:30. Tony.
Certainly been a topic of conversation. Krista, thank you very much. We'll look forward to that at 11:30. And Ashley, we will look forward to the other side of a wet couple of days, I guess, we're in for.
Yes, so overnight there is a chance we might see some showers, Tony, but really we're going to get a little bit of fog patches in the morning. But by 6 a.m., if we take a look at our board, that will start to dissipate a little bit. Mix of sun and cloud, but look at that. By 6 a.m., already 19 degrees. It's going to be a warm one. 21 at 8, and by 10 a.m., 24 at the chance of thunderstorms. Now that rain is really going to start to come into play after 10 a.m. and will continue to be, you know, something we're dealing with over the next 48 hours or so.
Okay. Duly noted. Thank you, Ash. And finally for us tonight, a young girl from Stratford now has the ability to hear thanks to a new procedure performed in London.
As CTV's Sean Irvin reports, just 2 years ago, her parents were told something like this was not possible.
Imagine the moment. A mother and father are waiting to see if a Canadian medical first has given their child a chance to hear for the first time. Will tiny Savannah turn when she hears a clap? Yeah. It is the response parents Danny and Jacqueline Lee have been waiting for since being told their daughter could not hear. For the first year of her life, they believed she never would.
So we were actually told to continue with sign because that would be our only option, really.
Enter LHSC surgeon Dr. Demir Bajin and a technique he performed while working overseas. Using a new auditory implant, he offered the Lee family a chance for Savannah to hear. But it would require brain surgery.
We need to expose the brainstem to put the implant in.
The procedure came with risks.
But the risks were pretty low because they've been so well versed in this whole procedure that it gave us, it helped us decide really easily to move forward with it.
The 4-hour surgery took place last year, and it didn't take long for Savannah to advance.
It was very rewarding to see such a clear sign of hearing on the day we activated the device. And we had some nice, clear signs of hearing, like looking up, turning towards sounds, which was fantastic on day one.
So this is essentially the only choice that these kids have to develop language skills and hear any sound. So if you do it on time, which we did for this kid, they will develop a normal language skill.
And that ability to communicate in words was something her parents had thought might never be possible until this moment.
Hi. But then when you actually hear the words, you feel kind of better, and like pressure's off, and you feel like a weight's been kind of lifted a bit.
A weight that these parents hope extends to other children and adults waiting desperately for the chance to hear for the first time.
It's fantastic. A lot of doors have been opened, and could be a lot more children in the future, have an outlet here to be able to hear.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Beautiful story,
So beautiful.
life-changing moment.
I mean, it just opens up so many pathways and everything for her. So good luck, and thanks for bringing us that beautiful story, Sean.
It's an incredible one.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a little more time
Yes.
before we close, so I wanted to touch on the game tonight.
Important hockey talk is about to happen.
Yeah, Game 6 Stanley Cup Final, but I wanted to point something out because I think it's relevant. I'm not generally a superstitious person.
Okay.
But I do know that the last time Krista Simpson was anchoring a late show, and Krista's anchoring tonight,
Yes.
the Edmonton Oilers won.
Oh, well, let's call it superstition. Let's call it good luck. I mean, certainly we're hoping for a Game 7 on Friday, which would happen in Edmonton, but this is a do-or-die game. They need to take the win, and, we're all keeping an eye on Brad Marchand.
I think you got to promise yourself you'll stay up and watch it.
Oh, I'm up.
You're up.
I don't have to be up early tomorrow, Tony, so I am up.
That's right. You're off tomorrow.
I am off tomorrow.
And happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you.
In advance.
Thank
Ashley will
you
be
so
away
much.
for a couple of days celebrating. Very deserved.
Thank
so
you.
enjoy it. And in the meantime, thank you for joining us. Stay cool out there over the next little while.
Yes.
Heat wave
It's
on
coming.
the way.
It is coming.
It's coming. So is summer. Typical summer in Ontario. CTV News Kitchener.ca for news anytime from our digital team. Krista Simpson and Ashley back tonight at 11:30. I'll see you again tomorrow at 6. Have a good night.